Title: A Father's Promise. Fatherhood is a journey filled with love, challenges, and unspoken fears. For some, it is a path of redemption, a chance to be the person they once wished they had. This story follows James, a single father who struggles with the shadow of his own absent father while trying to be the best parent he can for his son, Ethan. As they navigate life together, James must confront his deepest fears and prove to himself and his son that love is not just about being present, it's about staying, no matter what. James sat on the worn-out bench in the park, staring at the small playground where children laughed and played. His fingers fumbled with an old pocket watch, its golden frame dulled with time. It had once belonged to his father, a man he had barely known yet had always longed for. He could still hear his mother's voice telling him stories about the man who had left too soon. "You have his eyes," she would say, her gaze lingering on James's face as if she were seeing his father again. And his heart. James wasn't sure if that was true. He had grown up questioning what kind of man his father had been and whether he would have been proud of the choices James had made in life. Now, with a son of his own, he often found himself afraid of failing the way he believed his father had. Ethan, his 7-year-old boy, was his world. After his wife passed away 3 years ago, James had devoted himself entirely to raising him. But being a single parent wasn't easy. There were nights he lay awake, wondering if he was enough, if he was giving Ethan the love and guidance he needed. "Dad." Ethan's voice pulled him from his thoughts. James looked up to see his son standing in front of him, his small hands clutching a baseball glove. His eyes, so much like his own, shimmered with excitement. "Can we practice?" James hesitated for a moment. He had been exhausted from work, but the eager look on Ethan's face melted away his fatigue. He smiled, slipping the pocket watch back into his coat. "Of course, buddy." They moved to the open field, the sun casting golden hues over them as they tossed the ball back and forth. With every throw, James felt something loosen inside him, a weight he hadn't realized he had been carrying. He laughed when Ethan missed a catch and ran to retrieve the ball with a sheepish grin. "You're getting better," James encouraged. Ethan beamed. "You think so?" "I know so." They continued playing until the sky turned a soft shade of orange. As they packed up, Ethan tugged on his father's sleeve. "Dad?" "Yeah, buddy." "Were you scared when Mom left?" James's heart tightened. He crouched down to meet his son's eyes. "Yeah, I was. I still am sometimes." Ethan bit his lip, looking down. "I get scared too. Sometimes I worry you'll leave, like Grandpa did." James swallowed hard. He had never talked much about his father, afraid of the bitterness it might bring. But he saw the fear in his son's eyes, the same fear he had carried his whole life. He placed his hands on Ethan's small shoulders, his grip firm yet gentle. "I'm not going anywhere, Ethan. I promise." Ethan studied his father's face as if searching for the truth in his words. Then, with a small nod, he wrapped his arms around him. James held him close, feeling the warmth of his son's trust. In that moment, he realized something. His father may have left, but James wasn't his father. He had the power to break the cycle, to be the man his son needed. As they walked home hand in hand, James glanced at the sky, the first stars beginning to appear. He didn't have all the answers, and maybe he never would. But he knew one thing for certain, he would always be there for his son. And that was a promise he intended to keep.